on.
Welcome, everybody, to the Twisted Pair. We're back, and it's been, 2 weeks, I think?
Yes, it has been 2 weeks.
We need to get back to our consistent schedule, of every week, to where we're coming on and doing a pairing, because we've been putting off this tea pairing for quite some time. But anyways, welcome back to the Twisted Pairs. Everybody knows I'm Graybeard.
And I am Ash Red. And tonight we have the legend. I'm going to say the legend because everybody that I've talked to has said you are a legend. So I'm just going to go with what they're saying and jump on that board. And so we have Jack Torano with Espinosa Cigars. So thank you so much for coming on the Twisted Pair. We're excited to have you. And he's from the sunny state of Florida. He's in Miami. He's out where it's happening.
It's chilly here. It's 60 degrees.
Oh, wow.
I got my hoodie just in case.
So you're in the chilly state.
The past 2 days. we're like, and I gotta agree. I mean, the legend, because I did not put two and two together until I was doing some of my homework. Because we always got to do our homework on our guests. Mm-hmm. I was doing some of my homework, and I saw that you were with CI for a while, and that the Torano Cigars is yours. And I was like, holy shit, that's what I mean. I used to smoke the Torano 50th and love the cigar.
One of my favorites, but I was never with CI.
Oh, okay. So you weren't with CI.
I was with General.
Okay, that's right. Well, I mean,
so,
I was never with Corey, but I was with Nelson.
The funny thing is, I saw you guys you had that poster, the legend, and I'm like, I don't want to share this. And then I saw the video one where it's just a video and my name scrolls across and there's none of this legend stuff on there. And then so I shared that, and the first comment says, "He's a legend."
See, and it wasn't me. It was just like several people who were very excited, and they were excited that you were going to be on, and they just kept saying, "Dude, he's a legend. He is incredible."
I'm excited to be on.
So thank you.
I'm excited that you are on because
I like your shirt, Red.
Thank you. And do you see it's autographed?
I don't know if you could.
Yes,
I was there when he autographed 1,000 of them.
Yes. So I have one of the, and here's the thing is I have more underground shirts, and then my next populated shirts are Espinosa. I think I have every Espinosa.
There he is, right there.
There he is.
Every Espinosa. But this is my knuckle sandwich one, and I was like, I'm gonna wear the knuckle sandwich shirt so we can talk about it. So
I think we will
end up with it.
We will have hit our mark when we can get him on the show too.
See there's the legend. If you can get him, there's the legend. I was just with him last Thursday. I'll be with him Friday night. I'll be with him Saturday at the Great Smoke. So
yes, that's coming up.
Oh yes,
that's coming up.
I was supposed to go to that one, but things changed. Life happened.
So I'm curious of what you're smoking and if you're pairing it with anything tonight. So
I am not. I just had a dinner a little while ago, so I am having the Knuckle Sandwich Connecticut, which is
very nice.
My go-to. And as backups, I got the Sumatra. I got the event cigar that you got there, the Crema de la Rancha. Mm-hmm. I don't keep a lot of cigars, especially Espinosa cigars at home. So I don't have a lot of them. But I always have Knuckle Sandwich Connecticut. It used to be Crema. And Crema is still my sort of go-to.
Oh, I have a whole bunch of those that I didn't even think about bringing out. Those are
Crema
so
is the one
good.
that I use every time somebody comes up to me and says, "Hey, I'm brand new to cigars. What
Hmm.
would you recommend?" One
Hmm.
that I go to every single time is Crema.
That's a great, excellent gateway into the industry. Excellent.
Yep.
Yes.
So Red, what about you? What
Okay,
do you
so
bring?
I'm doing a special one, and this is like one of my. I only have like two left. So since Jack is on, the legend himself is on. I decided to dive in to an NFG exclusive. So here you go. Actually, have this in a shirt.
What's that
Um,
called?
it's called the Titty Twister. I hope they don't bleep me out for this and censor me. But it's the
It's
titty.
after 9 o'clock somewhere.
Yes, it's after 9. And here's my thing. I think y'all should have named it the Texas Titty Twister since it was a Texas event. But I mean, I'm not on your marketing, so there you
Where
go.
were you back then to suggest that? We would have happily
Y'all
done
didn't
that.
ask me. You didn't ask me. So here you go. So this is it. This was an NFG exclusive. And then because we're gonna have NFG in a couple weeks, I was like, I'm bringing in my exclusive Espinosa so I can smoke that. Then I have this one, which is Espinosa, right here. Good. So I have this, and this one is the one, and it was made. It's kind of stuck to the bottom. I have that was the thing. It's like they were stuck, but it's a barber pole. Like if you
Yeah.
look at it, it's the barber pole. So I have that, but this one is like a flavor bomb, and it's got like a ton of pepper in it. So
What
yeah.
are you drinking?
Oh, so what I'm drinking is I'm just going to have a sip, just a sip, not a much, tequila. Because as y'all known, I've had 30, I did the dry January, where you couldn't drink anything in the month of January. And it actually started right after Christmas. So towards the last week of December. And then I haven't had anything. And then I went out of town and had an avocado margarita. And then I was like, I really miss.
Avocado margarita.
Yes,
It
it
looks
is.
so good.
It is so good. Don't knock it till you try it, right? And then
Right.
I had a little sip of that tequila, and I was like, oh my gosh, I just miss sipping on tequila. And this is one of my I enjoy sipping on this tequila. It's manic, and it's a blanco tequila, and it's really enjoyable. But I'm not going to drink the whole thing. So
Don't let Guy. You can't have Guy on your show and drink that tequila.
because he has his own, right?
So we have him on the show. We have him on the show. We'll do a pairing with his cigar and his tequila.
There you go.
There you go. So let's go in and let's start from the very beginning because we're sitting here talking about your legend and everything. How did you start off in the cigar industry? Like, what is your?
So early on in the 80s, I was selling leaf tobacco in a warehouse on 8th Street here, Calle Ocho. And
I love that street.
We would supply all the local manufacturers and all the local rollers, including Ernesto Carrillo and all these people that hadn't yet hit the main stage, to say. We were supplying them with leaf tobacco. My grandfather, it was called Lopez Leaf Tobacco. And I did that for about 5 or 6 years. And the incredible thing is, in the 80s, the cigars were a dying industry. It was something our grandparents did and our parents did, and it really hadn't caught on until the boom of the 90s. So I kind of left the industry and went off, moved to Chicago, and was doing music for TV and radio commercials with my brother, and then always stayed close to the family. Always had a thought that I'd come back one day, and in 2010 that thought became a reality, and I came back for good. And what I thought would be with the Torano family, with my family for good, and then it was sold to General. So from there, I went to a small boutique. Then I went to a small boutique from Torano, then to General, and then as that kind of wound down, General wanted to make the Torano brand an internet only brand, and so there was really no need for me. And Eric and I have been friends for over 10 years, and I I've always thought of what it would be like to work for Eric, and always admired Eric and admired everything he's done, and the team he's put together. He's got a great team. And a couple of times it came close to me coming to work for Eric, and the closest it came was when I went to General, but I had to give the Torano brand another shot. But as that wound down, it just happened that Eric had an opening for national sales director, and as that was winding down, I was already negotiating with Eric to become his national sales director. So literally, my last day at General was December 31st of 2018, and my first day with Espinosa was January 2nd. I had January 1st off.
Well, so that you got one day off in between.
5+ years with Eric, and couldn't be happier.
Very good.
So before we get into Espinosa, which I definitely want to get into Espinosa, can you talk a little bit about the Torano, the brand? Because I mean, we mentioned when we were back in the green room that the 50, that's one of my favorite cigars. I mean, that's one that I try to keep in my rotation when I can get it, but it's getting harder to get now.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I did an event with Eric a few months ago at CI in Brandon, Florida, and they give me incredible deals on anything I want to buy Torano. So I bought a bunch of Torano cigars because they're still near and dear to my heart. The Exodus 50 year, the Casa Torano, Connecticut is was one of my favorites, and I always try to stay stocked up on anything Exodus, anything Casa, and they don't make a lot of the blends anymore, but yeah, Torano, it's an interesting run. I mean, in like 2009, I believe it was, before I came back, they had my cousin Charlie had given the distributorship of Torano cigars to CAO, and CAO started distributing it for a year, and it really wasn't going anywhere. Distributorships really, distributor deals don't really work out that well because on the back page on somebody else's book. So you don't have a sales team that their goal is to push CAO and on the back end, some Torano. So that wasn't working out. And a year later, Charlie decided he wanted to take back the brand and build the sales team again. And that's where I came back into play. And we built it to a place where General thought it was interesting enough to buy. So I wish we would have gone slower. So yeah, but listen, the Torano cigars are always in my humidor. I'm right with you.
Very good. I need to get some more. Sure, because I have run out.
I always wait. I always wait. Once a year, CI has this massive sale, and they're selling Torano boxes cheaper than we used to sell them wholesale. And listen, they're still made at the same factory, and I still smoke them, and they're true to the blend. The cigars are still good. So I take advantage of that, because I used to, when I worked for General, I could make a phone call and they would be delivered to my house. Now I got to wait till I go to a CI store. They take good care of me there.
But that's good.
But I always stay stocked. But look out for that once a year deal.
Yeah, I will definitely be looking out for that for sure.
Yeah.
So, and you came over as the national sales, and you had been friends with Eric, who's a great guy. And that's the thing is, like, when you hear about Espinosa, you hear great things about him, you hear great things about you. And then, so I kind of want to walk through all the different cigars because y'all have a ton of cigars and it's different for everybody's palate. Like, y'all are about to, I wish I had my sign, like the Warhead.
Yeah. Oh, have you seen the teaser for the new one?
So I have it, but I was like, oh man, it's on the other side of my smoking lounge, so I'll have to get it later. But anyway, so if you wouldn't mind, like, talk, because it's a wide variety, and y'all have different areas, kind of like different. If it was a book, different facings, So if you wouldn't mind telling us a little bit about what y'all have to offer.
So listen, the portfolio that Eric has and Hector Alfonso, which is blends everything and handles all the operations there. The portfolio that they've built
Mhm.
I always tell people I'll put it up against anybody, from
Mhm.
mild to full bodied to full
Mhm.
flavor to pepper bombs to whatever. There's something in Espinosa's portfolio for everybody, you
Right.
know. And you know, if you just go along the line, we even have a flavored a vanilla cigar
Oh,
that is a flavored cigar called Azúcar that is out there.
I did not know
Doesn't even
that.
carry the Espinosa name, but we wanted to do that flavored cigar. But from crema to laranja there's three different laranjas. All three feature Brazilian tobacco.
Mhm.
Murcielago, the bat cigar.
Yes,
Mhm.
one of my
That
favorites.
yeah, that cigar that with
That's San Andreas, right?
that's Mexican San Andreas.
Mhm.
We last year we became TAA members, and we did a special murcielago for the TAA called the Murcielago de Oro that had a San Andreas Claro wrapper on it, completely
Oh.
different,
Ooh,
and it took off. I mean, we only made like 1,200 boxes or 1,500 boxes, and at that trade show we went through 1,200. You know, it was
Mhm.
crazy. And that cigar, if you find that out there, it's very unique. The Habano, the 601 line, the red, the green, the blue. The 601 blue at one time was the number 6
Mhm.
cigar of the year in Cigar Aficionado.
yep.
Yeah, when Eric was before the Espinosa brand came out, the 601
Mhm.
brand came out, and
Mhm.
for Eric, who was really basically a rep back in those days, to get the number 6 cigar of the year in Cigar Aficionado is unheard of. Uh,
Mhm.
601 red is a Habano, similar to the Espinosa Habano. You know, depending, they got different little nuances and different complexity depending on what you like. But if you're big into a Habano, you got that there. The La Bomba, like you mentioned, the La Bomba line. Uh,
Mhm.
we have like 7 different sizes of La Bomba. Um,
Mhm.
we're trying to shrink that down a little bit. Um, but that's the only brand that we have that carries a 770, and we call it the F bomb, and it's a 770, and it's the best selling of that line.
Uh-huh.
And then the Warhead series, you
Mhm.
know, we'll be coming out with Warhead 10 next month at the PCA, and it's going to blow everybody away. The box is insane. We're starting to do marketing behind it. We're putting out teasers and posters, and everybody's driving me crazy because they want to pre-order it, but we don't even have it in our system. So,
So stop bugging him. He will let you know.
the warhead is a very unique project in that it
Mhm.
began with the idea was it's the same blend every
Right,
year,
Mhm.
different
right.
vitola,
Right.
and it's kind of to show
Mhm.
how much of a vitola can affect the taste, the strength. It can
Mhm.
affect everything in a cigar. It could be the same blend. So we're kind of running out of sizes. You know, we've hit Warhead 10 now. That'll
Yeah.
come out in March. So we had a meeting on Monday, and
Mhm.
we may just change the blend and start all over. Warhead 11 might go to a instead of broadleaf, which is that Warhead,
Mhm.
we may go to
Mhm.
Mexican San Andre and start playing with those blends. But
Mhm.
once we hit a blend on it, it'll be the same blend for 5-10 years.
Yeah.
Just different size.
Okay, so now
It,
I got a question for you on that broadleaf. Is it the Connecticut broadleaf or Pennsylvania broadleaf, or is it
It's
like a Nicaraguan
it's Connecticut it's Ecuadorian broadleaf.
Ecuadorian broadleaf?
Yeah. It's
What
not.
what what may be interesting is because I love the idea of having the exact same blend and showing how it changes in different vitolas.
mhm.
We were talking about that with Greg Free from Fuertes y Libre.
Mhm.
Used to be Fuente Libre. But anyways, uh, we were talking with him about that. What might be interesting is staying with the broadleaf, but instead of say going with an Ecuadorian, maybe go to a Pennsylvanian or a different environmental and where it was grown.
I want to say don't quote me on where that broadleaf is from.
Okay.
You know, I could get Hector on the phone. I don't believe it's true Connecticut broadleaf, but it might be. It might be. I'm not asked that
Right.
often. I'm not asked that often.
It's well, you're going to get some pretty detailed questions here.
But here's the deal. Here's the
Mhm.
deal. And today I smoked the Warhead 10. I'm not a broadleaf fan. I don't like broadleaf.
Yeah.
So I smoked it today. It smoked wonderfully. I don't
Mhm.
like the taste, so I'll never smoke that cigar again.
I,
I smoke one. 601 Blue is a broadleaf. I don't like that.
Mhm.
Something doesn't hit my palate right with a
With a
broadleaf.
broadleaf.
So I really don't smoke a lot of them.
for me with the broadleaf, it all comes down to what's underneath it. What is the binder that is bringing that blend out with it? If it's a broadleaf with say like a Sumatra binder, it doesn't hit for me. I need something else that's going to be a little bit richer, like a Habano binder underneath it.
Yeah. Again,
So,
yeah.
and I want to bring up, and I'm kicking myself because I tried the Sumatra 2 weeks ago. Maybe it's been 3 weeks ago. Because they had them in at the underground, and I'm like,
They
ooh,
were one of the first ones to get it in.
yes.
Yep.
So I was like, ooh, this is new. I walked in the humidor because I've got the humidor pretty much memorized. And I walked in and I was like, I haven't had that one yet. And oh my goodness, it was amazing. It was beautiful. And I was pairing it with tea, you know, and
Because it was dry January.
yeah, because it was dry January. And I mean, it went so well with my tea. I was shocked. And so I was really excited to have it again tonight. And then I left it uh, over in my friend's box. So I was just I was like, oh my gosh, I don't have
Unfortunately,
that.
I have one here, but it's a
Mhm.
660.
And he's like, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
So do you mind talking about, because that's the newest
That's the
one that
newest
y'all
line.
have. The-
That's we listen. We added since I've been there in the 5 years I've been there. We added Laranja Escuro, which became the number one. That was the second. That was a follow up to the Laranja Reserva, which got number 13 cigar of the year in Cigar
yeah.
Aficionado. We added Laranja Escuro, and Escuro
Mhm.
became the number one cigar of the year in Cigar Snow magazine.
Oh,
And then we followed that up with a Laranja Azulejo, which features a Brazilian Arapiraca wrapper.
and
And
it's good.
to me, forget Warhead, forget La Bomba, forget Laranja Azulejo is the strongest cigar we make. That knocks people. If you're into strength, Laranja Azulejo is the go-to there.
And I
That's
think
such
that's
a
why I
beautiful
like it.
wrapper.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah.
It is. That lineup of the three Laranjas is featuring that Brazilian tobacco is it was a great concept, great idea by Eric, and Hector's run with it and put out the other two blends. And then other than that, this Sumatra is the first in a couple of years we add to the core
Mhm.
line.
Mhm.
So
I love the Sumatra. I think I've already
Mhm.
gone through a 5-pack worthy of them, and I've got
Mhm.
another couple sitting in my humidor ready to go. I just wish I could smoke them right now and be enjoying one with you two right now.
are you in your house and there's a lot of alcohol back there?
Yes, this is my bar.
He may or may not have a problem.
Uh, would you believe me if I told you that was only part of it?
I would believe it. I think I saw a dog walk by too.
You did. That is Josie. That's my daughter's service animal in training.
Nice.
So, but I think it was for me, the Sumatra was something different that I was not expecting from Espinosa. Because like I think it's it was not in your normal core lineup for some reason. Um and so it kind of jumped out, and I was thinking, okay, Sumatra's a little bit either you get it or you don't.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of one of the things. And I mean, knowing who y'all were, I was like, okay, they're gonna get it. But I didn't expect it to be like a home run, knocked it out of the park. It was I
I'm glad
really
you feel that way.
yeah.
I hope that listen, it's only been on the market a little over a month. It's only been out there and it's been well received so far. So So hopefully now with the PCA coming up, it continues to get traction out there, because that's the important thing. I mean, we've got a lot of distribution on it. We've got a lot of retailers that have come on board with it, and hopefully it starts turning. You know, you never know with a new blend, and what you're looking for is to round out a portfolio. You don't want to have too many Habanos, too many Mexican San Andres, too many broad. You don't want to. So you want to look at a portfolio and see what's missing in it. And Hector saw a little spot there for a nice Sumatra, and listen, the process was many trips to Nicaragua, many different blending workshops over there, and when he brought that, we all fell in love with it. So
yeah.
Well, I'm going to give you a little bit of an insider note here of what's going to happen with that one. In the next issue of our magazine, which comes out on March 15th, there will be a review.
Okay, let's hope it's a good one.
I can tell you that you won't be disappointed.
Okay,
that's all I can tell you right now.
Happy to hear.
So another one is the La Crema. They all have. And then that one,
La Carema is Crown Heads and Miguel Chodell's watching.
Oh yes, is that where I went there? I went there. Yes, I did. My apologies. I think I was kind of thinking of and I always mistake it because it's Brazilian. I want to say naranja because it's orange.
Yeah,
but because that's for Brazilian. Portuguese. Yeah. I'll get it. If from Brazil, it's the Brazilian, and they speak Portuguese, so it makes sense that it's there. And that one is, I enjoy that like in the morning.
Yeah.
For with coffee and stuff. That is like a really great. Yeah, really good stick.
You know, if go back to the Torano, the Exodus 50 year, we always used to. We'll get asked the question a lot. You know, if somebody comes to you and says, "I've never smoked a Torano or an Espinosa," every brand owner, every blender, everybody has that one cigar they will put in your hands. You've never had Espinosa? We're going to put a Laranja in your hand, because the Laranja will not offend the mild smoker, and it won't disappoint the full-bodied smoker. Laranja has that flavor that you know, in the Torano days, it was the Exodus 50 year. We would put that Exodus 50 year, and people that said, "I'm not familiar with the line," just to give them an introduction to it. So
I gave away a half a box of the Exodus 50 year because I was just so blown away by it when I grabbed it. You know, you know how it is. We go to a lounge. It's like, "So what are you smoking?" "Oh man, you gotta try this. Here, let me give you one." And that's what it was with that
and
one.
That's that Brazilian Arapiraca. That's on the Exodus 50 year.
And that I love the Brazilian, both the Modafina and the Arapiraca wrappers, and both difficult wrappers to work with. I've smoked a number of them, and it's like what Red just said. You either get it, you either hit it right with the blend, or you don't. There is no, okay, yeah, this kind of works. No, it either hits good or it's a total miss. And that's what I think that's what I love about that one. And that's what I love about y'all's with Espinosas, how you're working with those wrappers, because they're such good wrappers.
And then to round out the portfolio, we got the knuckle sandwich.
We haven't even hit that, and I'm sitting here doing that. So knuckle sandwich came out. Was it 3 years ago that y'all started that line?
2 years ago.
2 years. Okay, 2 years ago. And then, so I know. So how did that come about?
Yeah.
So Guy's been wanting to do, I mean, and we didn't know about it, but apparently behind the scenes, Guy's been smoking cigars since the 90s, since he got out of college. Used to hang out at a shop, Churchill's in San Diego. And he's always wanted
great shop, by the way.
Yeah, it is. And he's always wanted to have his own cigar line. And his people kept telling him, no, 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 stay away from tobacco, stay away from alcohol, stay away from, And
Whatever.
as he grew and grew and grew, he finally
Mhm.
got his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And that day they said, now what? And he said, I want my damn cigar. And they said, well, we think you're ready. We think there's nothing that can harm you now. So he started inquiring, and the name Eric Espinosa kept coming up. And 3 or 4 years ago, he got in contact. Man, it might be 4 or 5 years now. He got in contact through a friend. He set up a meeting with Eric, and Eric met up with him, and Eric tried to talk him out of it. And he was like, "Well, why are you trying to talk me out of this?" And he said, "Because celebrity cigars don't work.
Yeah.
They don't work." And he said, "Why don't they work?" And he said, "Because the celebrity lends his name, or it's a regional celebrity, or
Mhm.
he just lends his name and it's over.
Mhm.
Doesn't get behind the brand." And Guy said, "Well, that won't happen with me. I'm going to get behind the brand. I want to be a real cigar brand owner.
Mhm.
We'll do events, and I will support the brand." And Eric said, "Well, if that's the case, it has a shot. If you're going to get behind it, it has a shot." And right there, we started going into the development of, at that time, COVID has hit.
Yeah.
Nobody's traveled
Mhm.
to Nicaragua. Nobody's traveling here. So we're Zoom blending, basically. Hector's, Hector picked Guy's brain of what he liked, what flavors he liked, what he was looking for, and we started creating blends and blends and blends. And it took about 18 months. Something that would take 5 months took 18 months to finally lock down the Habano and the Maduro in these blends, because they, you go to Nicaragua, you zoom into Nicaragua, you get them to blend what you're telling them to blend. They send those to Miami. We try them. We send them to Guy in California. Guy tries them. The feedback comes back, and everybody's giving their
Oh
opinion.
man.
And then
Oh man.
and then we have changes, and we have
Yeah.
changes, and we have changes. So it took a while to settle in on the two initial blends, the Habano and the Maduro, and and off we went, man. We it was crazy. Nobody had smoked those cigars. What happened in January of 2022 was that Eric picked up Guy, started visiting shops, just cold calling shops. The rumor was out there that we were doing a cigar with Guy Fieri. But Eric just started cold calling shops, and people were freaking out. And and from there, about 2 weeks later, they had 100 samples with them when they visited shops. So whoever they handed a cigar to smoked the cigar. They smoked it. We at the office smoked it. None of the reps had smoked the cigar. Nobody else had smoked that cigar. And we went into taking pre-orders for it. And in the first week of pre-orders, we were north of 5,500 boxes sold. And I've been in this industry a long time. I've never been a part of a release like that. I mean, you sell 3,000 boxes of something in a year. It's pretty successful.
Yeah.
We were at 5,500 before anybody smoked it. We end up a week later at TPE, and we leave TPE close to 9,000 boxes. So our initial order was 6,000 boxes, and we immediately went into back order. Immediately. The cigar was scheduled to arrive February 20, the last week of February. It arrived a week early, and we started shipping. That a week early doesn't exist anymore.
No, that's why I'm saying wow.
Well,
and we started shipping, and we went into back order, and this train has not stopped. I mean, it's
no,
insane.
it hasn't.
It's insane.
I first got my hand on one when Cigar Traveler, who works with us at Leaf and Grain Society, Zach, and he's the one that booked you on, that helped us get you on the show. He went to TPE and he came back with a couple of the knuckle sandwich, and this is right before we got them in at the underground.
Yeah.
And so I was I was one of the first ones that got a chance to smoke, and I think I got you yours at that point in time. they came into the underground, and Don and Chef were both touting it, and we everybody trusts their opinions on it. And Red and I both said, you got to get this cigar.
Mhm.
And I bought 2 boxes of it at that point in time, and in no time UJ was out of it.
Oh
Yeah.
I mean, it just blew up.
I think every cigar lounge that was like in the DFW area, it's like as soon as they landed, it was gone. And that's one good thing is like Guy has stood by his word. He has been there and he's promoted it, and it's kind of he's taking it on like it's his baby, you know.
Listen, I was watching Grocery Games. He had the T-shirt on.
Yep.
He's doing promos for South Beach Food and Wine, which is Friday. He's wearing the Knuckle Sandwich T-shirt. He'll be at diners. Last year we had TP at the same time, so I didn't go. But the year before, me and my wife went, as we will Friday, to the Triple D event at South Beach Food and Wine, and I had a bunch of cigars on me. Guy has a setup in the back, like a VIP lounge in the back, and then he comes out and mingles with the crowd and goes back in and goes back out. So we had access to go in and out. So initially we were told, before Guy got there, we were told, listen, you could smoke in Guy's VIP, but under the tent where all the food is, nobody can. And the tent is massive. Nobody can smoke there. All right. Half an hour later, Guy walks out under that tent, lights up a cigar, and the first security guard says, now you can smoke.
That's awesome.
So it turned into I had random people, when they realized that I was somehow connected to this, asking me for cigars, and Guy was wearing one of the initial T-shirts, and how did I get a T-shirt? And it was crazy how it snowballed. You saw the excitement of guys smoking a cigar. I want to smoke a cigar.
One of the restaurants just down the street from where I live was featured on Triple D twice now, and it's a Chef's Point Cafe. And so I'm in there talking with the owner's wife. She's also part owner, the chef, about doing a cigar pairing event there. And she goes, let's plan it up, let's do this, but on one condition. I was like, okay, what's that? She goes, you got to bring Guy's cigar, because we haven't had a chance to see Guy's cigar.
I was actually in Colorado, and I went to we did an event. Then he had a tequila tasting event the next day, and then another cigar event the day after that. But on that Monday afternoon, or Tuesday afternoon, I went and watched him film Triple D. I went to 2 of the restaurants to watch him film Triple D. Everybody in that restaurant was asking me for cigars. I had to bring a bunch of cigars to the chefs, to everybody. They wanted Guy's cigar. So yeah, it's crazy. And he's been doing events. I was just in Indianapolis last week, and we did an incredible event at Blend Cigar Bar down there, where, I mean, I think the place holds 80 to 100 people. There were 250 people there. And
he draws a crowd. I mean, he's a charismatic guy.
Yeah.
And the name of the cigar, Knuckle Sandwich, just fits within his whole character, and the whole persona that he brings out. It's
well,
I've got a marketing background. It's perfect marketing all the way around.
Well, you know what Knuckle Sandwich is, right? Knuckle Sandwich is his company. Knuckle Sandwich, Grocery Games, Diners, Drive-ins, and Dives, Santo Tequila.
Okay.
It all sits under the umbrella of Knuckle Sandwich.
Knuckle Sandwich.
Okay.
And then he tells the story that when he first started, his checks from Food Network were $1,200 an episode. And he got his first $1,200 check, and he didn't have a name for the company. He didn't have a name to tell. He didn't want the check sent to Guy Fieri. He wanted it to the company. So he had all of his friends got together, and he said, I need your help. I need you to help me come up with a name so I can give it to the Food Network, and they can send me my $1,200 check. And one of his friends said, Dirty. His friend's nickname is Dirty. Dirty told, and I know this because I just listened to him telling it. Dirty said to him, I'll tell you what, Guido, because they call Guy Guido, why don't you make us something to eat? It'll give us food for thought, and then we'll come up with a name. And Guy turned to him and said, how about I give you a knuckle sandwich? And Dirty said, there's your name. and that's how that name started. So he hasn't lent that name to anything. That name is just his company until it got to cigars. I mean, listen, we were toying with the idea of Flavor Town, but we thought that might be too gimmicky. And Guy came out and said, "Listen, I'd be willing to. I think Knuckle Sandwich is the way to go here." And he was right. I mean, Guy wanted to make sure this wasn't just a celebrity endorsed cigar. He wants to be part of this industry that he loves. So the boxes don't say Guy Fieri on them; they say Knuckle Sandwich.
They do.
And then on the bottom, it says "Made in Flavor Town." We took artistic license.
Okay, all right, love that.
That's funny. That is funny.
Let's take a quick break for a moment while we announce the big event. We don't have much news, but we've got a big event that you and I, well, actually all three of us are going to be a part of coming up in March 9th. Red, what is that?
So we have been talking about this. We have highlighted on the show, talking about it. I mean, throughout different ones, several of our guests have been to this event. They have talked about it. It is the NFG, and it is at the Underground. And I think there's very few tickets left. I think there might be 9 tickets left.
Oh no. There's like less
5 now.
Less than 5 tickets left.
5 tickets now. So if you want to go, and this is the really cool part, is you actually get to meet legends like Jack and sit down and he's like, no, sit down and talk to them. So it's a lot of the boutique cigars that you see us smoke and that we talk about, and they do a special blend, or they bring in some of the cigars that are their best sellers, and they have it for the event. And you're able to get 5-pack or 10-pack that's special, and then meet the owners behind it, or the faces behind it. So it's an experience unlike any other. Even if you've been to different cigar events, it's memorable, it's fun, and it's something that you don't want to miss out. It was my very first cigar event ever that I went to, besides Cutting Lights. And it's something that I said, hey, I don't mind saving up and doing whatever I have to do to attend this event. So it is March 9th. Saturday is whenever you can go in and buy the other ones. They have the night before, they have a roast, and then you have the event.
A chili cook-off.
Yeah,
we're having chili
cook-off.
The judge.
Oh, you're a judge. Yay. So, and yes, and people will say Texas chili doesn't have beans. Well, this Texan likes beans in her chili. I'm just saying. So
I'm thinking about entering my my orange bourbon chili into this.
Oh, you should. That one would be good. So it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of people who love to sit down and smoke, and it's just a great time. It's just an all around great time for people to come together and smoke. Yes.
Red, tell them what NFG stands for.
Oh, NFG stands for No Fucks Given. Yes. So at this event, you know what? They don't give a fuck. So and you'll see a lot of this.
There will be a lot of things.
Hey!
Yes. At NFG, when you walk into UG, if we say, "Hey, what's up?"
Yeah,
you know that we're greeting you.
We like you.
That is honor. We don't like you. We're going to ignore you. Just a grab bag itself is worth more than the price of the ticket. If you get one of the attendee, not attendee, and if you can't afford that, that's cool, because you can get a ticket at the gate. You just won't get the grab bag on it.
Yeah,
we are giving away our raffle prize last year. Was one of the top raffle prizes that was sought after, and we're coming back again this year with another charcuterie basket that is going to have cheeses and sausages and crackers, all for charcuterie board, with 2 bourbons paired to that by myself, and a wine paired to that by myself, with another wine that is paired to that from our writer Terry Lynn, who just within the past 2 weeks, I think, got her level 3 quartermaster's wine sommelier. So she's as you know, she's been with us. She's pairing that. And Red, you're pairing some cigars
Yes,
with that. And
and most
and
likely they will be LEs from previous NGs,
it's what they
NFGs.
were last year. It's what they were
Yep.
last year. And Matt is Spice Man is going to be doing a recipe for the basket as well.
And spices.
One of his own
Mhm.
recipe and spices. Last year we valued that basket at over $500, and it's probably going to be about the same this year as well. So NFG March 9th. Gates open at noon, but you're going to want to get there early
Get there
because the
early.
line goes
Goes
around
around
the block.
and around. It's ridiculous. But it's so much fun to sit there. And then also, I'm gonna cue in because look.
Yes.
So I'm excited this one. So many of you know, I like my tequilas, I like my bourbon, but my true passion is beer, crafted beer. And so this year, last year we did the Glens, but this year we are having our beer glasses. I know it's got water in it, but you can kind of see. So super stoked. We've got other goodies at the table. So stop by, see Jack. He will be there. And then have you picked out your socks for it? For the
Yes,
event?
I got to know what this is about
About the socks.
the socks. So Gabe says Jack, 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 but what color are your socks?
I don't wear socks anymore. They used to be colorful. No more.
Then he comes back and goes, I'll give it 4 socks.
I just went to a black tie wedding and I didn't wear socks. So
Love it. Love it. That is
I
very,
can just
very
picture
cool.
that with your nice shiny black, bow tie shoes
No,
on with no socks.
They were like velvet shoes. It was I had too much style for my old ass. Yeah, I can tell you that.
And you said is your wife coming to this event or is it
The NFG?
Yeah.
No, she's not. She'll
Okay.
be at the Triple D event on Friday, and then we're following that up. It's going to be a crazy Friday. We have 7:30 to 10:30. We have the Triple D event, and then we immediately go to the rooftop at the Kimpton Angler Hotel for the Cigar Aficionado rooftop party from 11:30 to 1:30 in the morning.
This
And
is
then
at the Big Smoke in Vegas.
That's a long day.
And then 9 hours later, we're
After
in West
party.
Palm Beach for the Great Smoke. So it's going to be a crazy Friday and Saturday. So my wife will be on board for the first 2. Then she's leaving me and not going to the Great Smoke. And and we're bringing Guy will be with us everywhere. He'll be with us at he'll be at his Triple D event, and then he's going to host a rooftop party. And it'll be Knuckle Sandwich, Santo Tequila. And I think there's 7 other. I think Warped is there, Altadis, a few other manufacturers, and then the Great Smoke is the Great Smoke, and we're taking Guy over there for a couple hours to sign boxes and hug and kiss babies. So it'll be a whirlwind.
Ready for president.
Oh my God!
Hey, I'd throw my hat into that ring. Just saying.
In this day and age, I think he's too young in this day and age. Don't you have to be 80 to run for president?
I think so, man.
We
need some new blood. We need some young people up in there.
Guy for president. We got to get some T-shirts.
Guy
I got to get you Red.
I got dementia.
I got to see if I remember to bring we have some new. We wore them at the TPE. We have these T-shirts that say "Smoke FKN," smoke a fucking Sumatra. Oh. And that's the new Espinosa T-shirt, and everybody at TPE went crazy for that T-shirt, and I'll see if I can manage to smuggle some down to UG for you guys.
That would be awesome.
And then I got to get you the new Guy T-shirts, real nice.
Yes.
I don't know how many we have left, but I'll try to. I know my new rep over there in Texas has some in his car, so if you run into Brandon Luna.
Oh, okay. I'll message Brandon. I'll say Brandon.
Yes.
And I'll say Jack said.
He's got both of those T-shirts in his car. So
I guarantee he does.
Yeah. So don't wait, because I guarantee you he's giving them out.
All right, Brandon, because I know you watch the show every now and then. So hit us up. We'll wear them and promote them. Jack said. When Big Tony did the last Cut and Light with with the knuckle sandwich cigars. He had a hat, and I wanted that hat, but I couldn't get the hat.
What did he have? A knuckle sandwich hat?
Yeah.
No. I don't know. Tony used to make a lot of his own swag, so I don't know.
He
if it
probably
was
had he probably
had.
had it made because like
I probably had it made, but I
Yeah.
remember there being a hat because I was trying to get that hat. I was hoping for that hat.
knowing Tony,
raffle.
he had it made.
I know
So-
1 year. I know 2 years ago at PCA we gave away caps that were signed by Guy, and then we have some new ones coming out. I don't know if they'll be ready. If they're ready, I'll bring some with me. But
Sweet.
we're gonna have 2 different knuckle sandwich caps. They're really really nice. One of them is an event only where Guy is at. That'll
Very
be
cool.
given away when Guy is there, and the other is just a black knuckle sandwich. Snapback.
cool.
It's really really nice. So
Yeah. And that's my thing is at y'all's cutting lights events, everything that Espinosa does, and it doesn't matter which region because like I follow y'all, I've seen y'all sing, I've been a fan of Espinosa cigars like forever. So it's always a party. It's always fun.
we try to have fun. If you can't have fun in this industry, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
Right. It's you. It's not the industry.
It's not you. It's you. It's not definitely not the industry. So you definitely there's a lot of fun to be had. NFG will be a lot of fun. Yeah, they're bringing back the roast this year. The roast. I don't know if you guys ever saw the roast. It was
Oh yeah.
It was pretty cutthroat. So
it's very cutthroat.
It's a lot.
It's not for the weak. I'll just say that.
I'm happy they're bringing it back, and we'll see. Let's see if I'm happy afterwards.
You never know.
And I think Fred is the one that's being introduced into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, Fred Rui. I love
Fred Rui. Brian McGee was introduced last, I think 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I think it's Paul Costo, Brian McGee. Fred will be this year. I believe there might be one other one that I'm missing, but I don't know.
And I'm sitting there trying to remember, but I think at that point I had too much to drink. Just saying. Sometimes that happens at that event.
It wasn't dry January.
No, it wasn't dry January, so I was okay.
So I had this discussion with my brother because my brother drinks a lot, and he was going to do the dry January, even though I saw many pictures of him at restaurants and there was a drink in front of him in January, but he wanted to do the dry January, and I said, and don't take this personally, Red, but I said only really alcoholics have to do dry January. Because it would never occur to me. Like I enjoy a drink or two. I enjoy bottles of wine with my wife. I enjoy. It would never occur to me that I'd need to take a month off.
No offense taken. No offense taken. At all. So I mean, it was interesting because I was exploring teas and mocktails. But I'm just gonna say it right now. Mocktails do not taste the same without that alcohol. I mean, they're good.
There's a lot of you're a beer person. There's a lot of really good zero beers now. They've come a long way since the O'Doul's days. I mean, there's really I got Stella Zero Beer, and Stella Zero Beer tastes great.
I think Fishhead does a zero beer.
Yeah.
I know Fishhead also does a gluten-free beer because I do have.
They all do now. They all do. Heineken, Stella, they all do.
Really?
They all do the zero beer, and they've come a long way.
And then wines are starting to do it. Wines are starting to get that way.
I'm never going to drink a zero wine.
No.
I'm never going to drink a zero beer on purpose. So.
When we were at the Farmers to Chef event back in March, I think it was, and last year, and there was a zero mocktails, and they were presenting their own different cocktails with 0%, and the representation of, say, like a rye, a bourbon, a peated, and so forth. They were all 0%.
Yeah,
and they had they had interesting flavors to it that simulated what you would get out of a rye, but it didn't have that ethanol kick to it that kind of rounded it out.
Hmm.
And so it's like those flavors brought it up to a point, and it's just like there was this brick wall, and it stopped right there, and then it fell flat because it just didn't round it out. That I think the alcohol actually does, and it's not because I want the alcohol to give me a
Right.
buzz, or whatever, because I don't drink for that. I drink for the flavor. It just didn't round it out.
I drink for the buzz. Just
That's I'll drink to
yeah,
that.
listen, I enjoy the flavor, but I'm not a bourbon guy. I'm not a whiskey guy. I'm not.
Me
I
either.
I do enjoy a good old fashioned, but just straight bourbon neat. I'm not that guy. I'd rather drink wine or beer. But certainly I drink for the buzz, not for the flavor.
Hmm.
Well, I'm drinking an old fashioned right now with syrup, a spiced honey syrup, and then a smoky bitters that were made by a friend of mine.
So wait a minute. You can drink, but you can't smoke.
I can't
very curious.
smoke. I can't smoke this week.
Okay.
Just this week. On Saturday, I can smoke, and believe me, I'm going to be heading to a lounge, and I'm going to be smoking the shit out of some fucking cigars.
So so what lounge? Where do you guys mostly underground? Where do you hang out when you go to a lounge?
UG.
Underground. You do.
Underground.
That is a great lounge.
I also will go over to Michael's. Michael's
Euless, yeah.
is like 3 blocks away from me.
I love Michael. I love Michael. And
Michael's
Yeah.
fantastic. Yes.
a lot of fun.
And
The
then
peacocks, the peacocks are good people.
Yes.
yes. And then I will go out to McKinney to the cigar lounge
Okay.
in McKinney up north. And so I'm out there quite a bit. That's where I did my apprentice for my tobacconist.
How about barbecue? Where do you go for barbecue?
Oh, my favorite place is Panther Island.
Panther
Island.
Yeah,
Yes.
out in Fort Worth is really good. Now I can't remember the one.
I have a favorite.
What's yours? What's your favorite?
Hutchins.
That's my
yes.
second one. Hutchins is really.
I also like Off the Bone down off of
I don't know that one.
south of I-20. It's in an old school Dairy Queen restaurant that they revamped, and they're only open like Tuesday through Saturday for like a short time period.
Mhm.
And you
Like
have
Panther.
like Panther. I mean, it is just a Southern family that runs it, and you spend a shitload of money, but you get a double shitload of food.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's not cheap.
Well, and
it's-
another one is Salt Lick. Salt Lick
Salt
is.
Lick
I don't know if
Austin.
you've had that experience.
Isn't Salt Lake like a chain?
I don't
in
know.
Dripping.
No.
It's in
Dripping
Driftwood.
Springs.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's in Dripping
Driftwood.
I'm
Springs.
confused with another one, but
Yeah. And it's been around 51 years, and they take a different approach to their barbecue. Like they cook it the day before, and they freeze the meat or refrigerate it, and then they put it back on the smoker
interesting.
the next day. Because here's my honest opinion. Like I do a lot of smoked brisket and burnt ends, and that's my passion. I love smoking food, beer can chickens. That's my thing. It's how I relax. And it's always better a day later or a couple of days, after you've had, to me, because the flavor gets in there. And so they've taken that concept and they refrigerate it, freeze it, and then they put it back on the smoker.
What's the name of this place?
Salt Lick. Yeah.
Salt Lick.
And their beef ribs are freaking huge. I mean, their beef ribs are like 12, 13 inches long.
Those beef ribs are expensive as shit.
Yeah.
They are so good. I mean,
Yeah,
you literally pick it up and the meat just falls off.
Yeah. So they've been around, and it's a unique experience. If you want to experience true things, and they have a beer garden, they have a wine cellar, they make their own wine, where they have a vineyard on their property, so you can get their wine. And then the great thing is they have a picnic area where you can go and smoke cigars.
Nice.
So you can take your food over there, the wine over there, and then your cigar, and you have the ultimate experience.
All my barbecue, all my smokehouse barbecue, any of that, those recommendations come from Brian McGee. Brian McGee took care of me there. He's taken me. He's turned me on to all of them. Panther. He's turned me on to all of them.
McGee's a vegetarian. He doesn't know.
Yeah.
He loves
He's a vegan. What's he know?
He loves that. He loves that.
Yeah. So, and I think that's this is what I was excited for. Like when I heard the rumor that Guy was coming around and they were doing a cigar, I was like, with him doing it, because you have celebrities, you have actors, you have baseball players, football players, different ones that come out. But with him, I was excited because he's a chef. His palate. He knows his palate. So I knew it was going to be something that was going to be a phenomenal cigar, and it was going to be a full experience because he brings a different element, and he knows the palate. He knows what he wants and how to hit it. So I think that's kind of, another reason is a lot of people who smoke cigars, they enjoy their meat, they enjoy their steaks, they enjoy their chickens, they enjoy food with their cigars, So I think it's kind of, when I found that out, I was like, oh my gosh, it's going to be a phenomenal cigar. And it has been. And I think that's part of why it's been widely successful. Part of the reason why it's been widely successful is because of that.
Listen, unless it's a good cigar, it was only going to go so far. I don't care who's behind it. The fact that it's an exceptional cigar and it's gotten great accolades and great ratings out there is what's really carried it. And listen, Guy is out there. Guy is out there promoting it. Guy is one of the busiest people I've ever seen, and he still takes the time to embrace and get out there and meet people and promote the cigars, and anywhere he can, he's out there, talking about the cigar. We'll be at that Triple D event on Friday night. He will not be without a cigar at any moment. He was at the NBA All-Star game. He didn't light it because they were indoors, but look at all the clips of him at the NBA All-Star game. He has a cigar in his hand.
The thing that's really interesting about Guy is because he truly does have a good palate, and one of the things Twisted Pair is all about the pairings. That's all we do is we focus on pairings. And Red and I will tell you some of the most challenging pairings that we've done over the past almost 3 years of doing this has been some of our food pairings. I mean, we searched high and low for a pairing that went really good with the chicken. We tried multiple different types, and we've really tried it. We've really pushed the envelope on that. What you're doing with the knuckle sandwich, it pairs so well with so many different drinks and with different types of food. Now, I haven't paired it with chicken yet, but I mean, I've paired the knuckle sandwich with a French dip, and I'm a French dip whore. I love my French dip sandwiches. I've paired it with a French dip with an old fashioned. I've paired it with a French dip and a Manhattan, and have just been phenomenal pairings with it.
I'll be honest with you. I've never had anybody talk to me about food pairings.
That's what we do.
That's our favorite. I mean, we've even done fruit, exotic fruit. We've done regular fruit.
Unless you're in Miami, or you got a great steakhouse there in the Dallas area that you can
Chamberlain's.
You can have cigars there. You're hard pressed to be eating and smoking at the same time. I mean, Miami has a lot of places where you can do that, but across the country, oddly enough, Detroit has many lounges where you can order food and smoke cigars.
Really?
Yeah, and really good food.
I did a pairing with Bruce Bosch when I was in Tampa last year, not this past September, but 2022. And we were at 7th Street, and we were down at King Corona, and had the Cuban sandwich there, and had the Cuban sandwich with their coffee,
the Cafe Corona.
Yes.
That is
Oh,
the spicy caramel coffee. It's incredible.
oh, it is incredible. And I did that with I think it was an Aladino,
Mhm.
the Aladino Habano, and it
Mhm.
was a beautiful pairing. I mean, just the way everything matched, the Cuban, the sweetness of the Cuban brought out the fruitiness from the habanero. I mean, the Habano, and just matched with the caramel of that coffee, and just everything went together beautifully on it.
Nice.
And Bruce is like, with food, it's like, dude, try
Mhm.
it. Come on,
Yeah.
try it.
Well, you're probably gonna know this on Calle Ocho. There's that Cuban restaurant that's got that beautiful garden, that courtyard.
There's a lot
I'm
of them.
putting you. Yeah, there's a lot of them. Uh, it's on the side with the Domino's. It's like 3 streets, 3 things down from where the Domino's park is, and that's what that's what I did. I had on the first one. I bought too much food, but I wanted to try
Oh, you're talking
experience
about
all.
ball and chain.
No, it wasn't that one. I'll have to look through it. It wasn't that one. It had the
Ball and
Cuban,
chain.
and
Ball
it
and
had
chain
the
has
Cuban
that
music.
courtyard. Ball and chain has that
Oh, is it?
courtyard where you can sit
Okay.
outside and smoke.
Okay. And so I sat out there and ate different Cuban foods with my cigar. Then when it came down for the Cuban coffee, I had 2 of them, and the person's like, "Are you sure too?" And I'm like, "Yes." And they'll say, "Oh,
How'd you
keep you."
sleep that night?
I did. I slept great.
Nice.
I slept great, and had a different cigar with that. And it to me the experience of it is just such. It's a beautiful experience, and
No,
I think
listen.
that's
There's nothing that pairs better with cigars than coffee.
hmm yes,
You know,
yeah,
when I was doing my cigar sommelier certification, and this is what really got me on this. There's 2 modules on cigar pairings. And the very first one is with coffees,
hmm
and then for your base level, the second one is with different types of deconstruction pairings and constructive pairings, where you or multiple pairings where you'll do, brandies or whiskeys and chocolates or so forth, throughout the different thirds of the cigar. But yeah, coffee is a great one. Coffee is one of the only ones where we can actually come back and say, okay, if you're smoking if you're drinking a coffee from this particular region, smoke a cigar from that region, it's going to
hmm
go good because the terroir is similar to that. We can't say that on everything
No.
hmm
on it. What really got me on this is for the master sommelier, and this is the IACS, International Association of Cigar Sommeliers. For the master sommelier of it, the pairing of it is that's where they have the wines. You don't get it on the other levels. You get it on the wines. And then as I got my wine sommelier, I really started understanding why of just what the such complexity of the wines and that complexity of the cigar itself and how you're going to marry and match those up to provide true a, a true exceptional pairing with it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, listen. I drink a lot of wine, and if I'm drinking a nice bottle of red, I try to go to a more medium to full bodied cigar. If I'm drinking white wine, I stay to the lighter side.
See, and what we I don't know if you know this, and I think we may have talked about this a couple of times in some of our conversations at some of the events we've done together. We break it down to that next level where we don't go into the full bodied or light body, medium body, but we go down to the terroir, to the
Mhm.
type of seed it is,
hmm
and where that seed is grown, and when that seed is grown, and when that seed is harvested, and then how the tobacco is aged through the pilones, and whether it's a hot aging room or a cold aging room and so forth like that. So we break those down at those levels when we can get that information. So, where we may say an Ecuadorian Habano is going to go with this particular type of drink, where a Habano is going to go with these types of
I
drinks.
was going to say it can't be easy to get that information.
Trust me, we fight for it. we fight for it. But we both have grown our palates to the point where a lot of times we can just, I can pick out an Ecuadorian Habano from a Jalapa to a Jamaica.
Mm.
It's now telling whether it's a hot aging room or a cold aging room. Nobody's going to be anybody pick that out. I'm going to call them a bullface bullshit.
Yeah,
but it helps because it makes a difference.
You enjoying that cigar, Red?
I am. I forgot. And the thing is like whenever you have your LEs, you kind of, I remember when I had it, I really, really enjoyed it. And I was like, I'm going to have to slow down, I'm going to have to hide it,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you still had some of those available because I had two packs of the titty twisters and they're long gone. And I had 2 packs of those cremas and they're long gone. How the world do you keep them?
I hide them. I have
from yourself?
I hide them from. Well, I don't necessarily hide them. I have I have 2 things of NFG cigars from the events, over that, and I only, allow certain ones. It has to be something special, and it's funny because like Lydia, she's my youngest daughter. She's 15. She'll turn 16 in April, and anytime it's World Preemie Day or her birthday, she knows where to go. She's like, I know that you keep your special cigars in these 2 tupperwares. So she goes straight to those and she pulls them. So it's like when, it's the kid's birthday or something like that, the birth of my grandson, or anything like that, because my grandson will have his first birthday in April. So April, it will be hit hard with, Lydia's birthday and then my grandson's birthday. So I'm very strict about, even though it's stinking good. And now I'm like, now I want another one.
I've got one Murcielago left. And that was one that I was gifted. And it was one of the original Murcielagos that was produced.
Yeah, get rid of that. That's got way too much age on it.
Okay, so I may have to smoke it, but I enjoy it.
Are you a smoker or a collector?
Both.
Both.
So Graybeard put up the website, the website for Espinosa Cigars. Check them out. You'll also do a great about where your retail shops are. So check it out. And then you can.
We're actually working on that because we back in the Torano days, and I know a lot of manufacturers have that link where you can. And I spend my life fielding, hey, I'm in Dallas, where can I go? Hey, I'm in, here, where can I go? Mm-hmm. So we want to get a retailer list going because right now the only thing listed there are the Espinosa lounges. There's 10 lounges across the country, and those are listed there, but we're lacking that retailer list. So and if you don't know where to go and get some of those Espinosa cigars, you can always hit up Red and myself. You can hit up Jack. Absolutely, Jack at EspinosaCigars.com. It's not that hard.
Jack at EspinosaCigars.com or right here on his Instagram, Jack Torano. You gotta follow him.
Now I'm really bad at that. I Messenger I look at all the time. I gotta be honest with you, when I started using Instagram, I didn't even know you could get messages. And my stepdaughter was here one day and she goes, you got about 700 messages of people. And I went, holy shit, I didn't even know it. And now I started catching up. So I do check it, but I can't tell you how many people I sent you a message on Instagram. Oh shit. And I gotta go back.
Well, Jack, I'm gonna call you out on this. You don't
Facebook Messenger. I'm way better.
You don't even follow Red and myself on Instagram.
I don't?
No, you don't.
Oh, I can change that. I'm telling you, I'm not good at Instagram. Whatever the kids call it, Insta, the gram. I don't know what they call it.
You know what's funny?
IG.
You know what's funny? I don't even think the kids use Instagram very
Mm-mm.
much anymore.
Now they're
It's
all
all Snapchat.
They're all they're all
TikTok.
Snapchat. Oh, okay,
TikTok.
okay. So my two kids just walked in, 25 and 21, and they're both saying, "Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do."
But like my kids who are younger say they do everything with Snap. And there's something else now that's out. I don't even know what it is. But like my daughter was showing me, and I was like, I'm old, so Facebook and IG is that's my speed because as an old person.
You say you're old and you're 10 fucking years younger than me.
I'm a grandma, so that gives me the old card. See,
I don't know what you're talking about either. I follow both of you on Instagram. I don't know what you're talking about.
He just did it. Oh.
I didn't say how long. I didn't say how long.
He's like, what? He's like, no, I follow y'all. I follow. Click. I got your number, Jack.
I love this. Mad Money is laughing.
And it was so funny because like I was waiting to see like his comments and stuff. And I'm like, he's not even there. And like my comments for some reason on my iPad they're slow. I don't know what's going on. But like everyone's like, where are you? And they're tagging him. And he's like, I didn't get the alert. Well, Mad Money, I'm gonna call you out. You know where we are, you know what time. So there you go. That's all I'm gonna say.
You have been on the show.
I know you've been on the show.
I want to say something. This is kind of coming back to NFG. Okay. So we have added another guest on our show that was going to be at NFG. So we've got Jack Torano, NFG. Multiple times have you been there, and we've had conversations.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mad Money 262.
Yeah.
We've had Neil from Time Out.
Time Out.
We have had
Luciano.
Luciano.
Mm-hmm.
We have had Sebastian from Cavalier.
I love Sebastian.
He's a great guy.
We've had Brian McGee.
Love Brian McGee.
From Crown Head.
And then we also had oh my goodness, from Crown Head. Now my mind just went. Miguel, thank you.
Yes.
I was gonna call him Mark. I don't know why.
We've had Miguel.
Miguel Chodell is one of my closest friends in this industry.
Mm-hmm.
He stayed at him and his wife stay at my house. So
Miguel, I
wealth of knowledge.
Oh my God!
Hats off to Miguel.
I love watching him on podcasts. He is he's very entertaining and as you say, a wealth of knowledge.
Michael Rosales from Romacraft.
Another one of my favorites.
And NFG. Edgar Hoyle, OSI.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've had him on.
Just saw him at TP.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know he was brokering.
You didn't?
No, I didn't know Edgar was brokering. He told me about it at NFG.
I think we talked about that on the show. TP.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. We have had a number of
Greg Free.
Greg Free. How can we forget Greg Free? We've had Greg Free on twice. Karen Berger.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, how did we forget Karen and Bruce?
Very sweet. Karen and Bruce. Now they won't be at NFG this year.
No.
But if you want to see these people, every single one of them that we have talked about, except for Karen and Bruce, because I don't think they're going to be at NFG.
I don't think Miguel's going to be there either.
Miguel's not going to be there. But Brian McGee's going to be.
Will.
The meathead will. The vegan. Every single one of them are going to be at NFG this year.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't follow and subscribe to us on Instagram, and then on YouTube and Facebook, you need to, because we're bringing out the guest.
Mm-hmm. That's right. So, I'm looking like last year, after COVID, it's people are still kind of leery. And then was it 2 years for PCA? Everybody got COVID. Like as soon as COVID hit, like after 2020, 21, when they first brought PCA back, it seemed like everybody.
Dude,
Okay.
COVID took down Espinosa at TPE.
Oh,
Yeah.
this
Eric,
TP?
Eric came
Oh
back
my
with
gosh.
COVID. Junior came back with COVID. They passed it to a couple of people at the office. Luckily, I was on a plane the next day off to off somewhere, Kansas City, so I didn't get it. But I'm still never tested positive.
Yeah, you better knock on wood somewhere.
I don't have any.
Here, use your head, Jack.
Yes.
I was in the hospital for a week due to COVID, and here's the good story of it. Okay, so
You're still with us. That's the good story.
Yes, the internist, the infectious disease doctor, who's the one who actually put me on the steroids to save my life, because he said to me, he said, Mr. Yancey, because they always call you Mr. something. Said, Mr. Yancey, if you had not come in when you did, you would not be here the next week. I was like, okay,
Wow.
shit, that's pretty fucking serious. But anyways, he's the one that put me on the steroid IVs that saved my, that I'm saying saved my life. So here comes 2 years later, and I have surgery on my elbow. You can kind of see the scar there. I had 2 surgeries on my elbow, and I ended up with a bone infection on it, and so they had to put a tube in to give me IVs directly into my bloodstream.
Wow.
And the infectious disease doctor that gave that to me, when I get out of the hospital and I go to see him, and he comes in and sees me and he goes, I treated you 2 years ago for COVID. It's like, okay, you smoke cigars, right? Yeah. So I didn't, because back to COVID, they just called you on the phone. You didn't actually see them. And he goes, yeah, I'm the one who talked with you, and you told me about how you smoke cigars. And I said, yeah, I smoke cigars. And I said, but I haven't been while I've been on this. He goes, okay, that's good. Then he goes, but I got to tell you, your story to me about what cigars does for you got me thinking, and I smoke cigars now.
Nice. So did he hit you up for any?
Nobody asked me. He asked me for some advice on which ones to smoke, and so it's like, okay, what is it that the whole standard question? What is it that you normally smoke? What is it that you like? What kind of food do you eat? What do you drink, and so forth? And come to think about it, I did introduce him to Espinosa.
Nice.
The crema.
The gateway cigar.
It is. I know we talked about this. Here's the thing. Every single one of us that's in this industry, whether we're in it because as yourself, where you're actually one of the manufacturers, distributors, representatives, national
Family.
sales, you're part of the family, or you're on the other side of it, as where Red and I are, where we're the media aspect of it. We all get asked at some point in time, and multiple times, I'm getting into cigars. What do you recommend? I see those questions on Facebook all the time. And we all have our ones that we go to. Look, go and try an Oliva O. An Oliva O is a nice, good, light body, easy entry level cigar. Go try an Espinosa Crema. Go, and if you can find it, get the Crown Heads La Crema, because it's a nice, easy cigar that introduce you and bring you into that gateway cigar. Go and get a Padron 3000 series. They're all, every brand has their gateway cigar. What I've got,
I will tell you something, and I tell everybody at meet and greets or at events when I talk to people, what you're saying is true. You give them that. You don't want to start somebody off on a medium to full bodied cigar. You don't want to. You want to get them in the door with a light Connecticut, with something kind of. But at that point, you're almost telling them, once you start learning a little bit, you're going to move to medium body, medium to full, and you'll find your niche in there. But listen, every cigar you mentioned, the La Crema, these cigars have a lot of complexity. They have a lot of things that a new smoker will not pick up. And I always tell people, listen, absolutely use it as your gateway cigar. But once you've been smoking for a year or 6 months, a year, 2 years, that your palate has developed, and your palate now understands complexity and nuances and any type of changes in the cigar. Go back and smoke those cigars you started with, because you're going to taste things in them that you never did.
Exactly.
That's
100%.
That's why I always tell them.
Because people forget about those. They forget about those and they move on. But
I always tell them, get yourself a journal.
Yeah.
Get yourself an empty journal. Grab yourself a glue stick. You go to the lounge. You buy some cigars. Carry that glue stick with you. Carry that pen with you. Carry that journal with you. And you smoke a cigar. You take that band off. You glue stick it in there. You write down what you had to drink or eat before or during, what you know about that cigar, and what you tasted out of that cigar. And what you're going to taste 99.9999% of the time is going to be tobacco or leather. It's like, whenever a cigar reviewer goes, "Oh, I'm getting lots of leathery notes out of this cigar." Okay, good. Just like when a reviewer says, "I'm getting lots of caramel and vanilla out of this bourbon." Okay, good. You're supposed to get those out of there.
Right.
What are you getting that's not? What are you getting that's outside of those? And like you said, as your palate grows, go back and revisit those, because you'll start seeing those nuances.
Yeah, and what you got out of it is going to be different than when you get out of it 2 years later. It's just gonna your palate is now educated enough to understand the nuances of tobacco. If you want to take it a step further and kind of get into blends and understanding the different leaves and what leaf pairs well with another leaf, you can take that to the geekiest level there is.
Right.
But definitely in the simplest of form, the complexity and nuances you're going to get once your palate is developed is completely different. And I've had people say, "Oh, man, I started with Casa Torano, or I started with," and I loved that cigar. How many of those have you smoked lately? Oh, I moved on. I moved on to Exodus 50 Year, or Laranja, or Laranja Azulejo, or I moved on to those. Go back. Now that your palate understands what it's tasting, go back. You're gonna be pleasantly surprised, and it's part of the learning process of tasting what's in a tobacco, what's in a cigar, what's in the leaf.
You remember the first cigar you ever smoked?
So in the 80s, when I was telling you that I sold leaf tobacco, my grandfather used to pick out leaves, select certain leaves out of bales that were in the warehouse, and he would give them to Ernie Carrillo. And Ernie Carrillo, a week later, would come back with 2 bundles of cigars he rolled with the tobacco my grandfather picked, and just naked bundles. And listen, I wish I had some now, because back then they were pretty special. They were pretty special, and they had no name on it. I mean, listen, probably before I came back into the industry, I used to smoke in the 80s. Then I became like an occasional smoker. Like in the 90s, early 2000s, I was the occasional smoker. And then I went crazy when I came back into the industry, and now I smoke 6 cigars a day. So
I was the occasional
8 today.
I was the occasional smoker back in the early 2000s. I started smoking cigars in the early 90s myself. So not as long as you have, but in the early 90s. I overtalked you twice now, Red. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. I was going to even say, even as you smoked and your palate, even when you go back and visit it, I'm always surprised. Like, I have things that are in my rotation that I smoke that I enjoy. Like, this is my, I like this in the morning and this. And for example, is like porcelain is one of those that I go to for more. I smoke that with red wine. I smoke that with my coffee. But it's amazing when I just go back and, I haven't had it for a while, for about a month, and I go back and I discover new things. And it's kind of like that. And I, with several cigars, because I've gone on to something that's just been released. And so then I get on a kick for that for a while, like the Sumatra, that's been a kick. And that's something I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to smoke this like every week. And then when you go without it for a couple weeks and you revisit it, it's amazing what you're able to pick up. And then like another thing is
those 2 10-packs that you have there, the Titty Twister and the and I don't know what the other one is. What's the other one you have?
The Crema
Crema Laranja.
Uh-huh.
I mean, Crema Laranja was 2 years ago, and Titty Twister was 5 years ago.
Has it been 5 years?
2019. Titty Twister was the first one I did at UG. So you go back and I guarantee you those are smoking completely different than they were 5 years ago. Yeah.
And that was bringing me to my point of my final verdict. As I remember the Titty Twister when I first had it, you talk about flavor bomb, right? And it was that peppery and it was just like bold in your face and everything. And I'm getting anise out of it. And I never have gotten that before whenever I've smoked it. And it's calmer and the transition is like, I'm picking up different notes from it and I'm picking up cream. So even if you have cigars that have aged, I didn't realize that this has been 5 years ago. That's insane.
5 years ago is crazy because that was my first time to UG.
Yeah.
What was 5 years ago, and for the fact that it's been out there for that long. And so that I was trying to think of when I got introduced to Espinosa, because I know that Brenda introduced me. She introduced me to some Espinosa. She was the first one that got me into the 601. And then Spice Man, Matt Harris, he's the one that got me into the Murcielago, which I love the Murcielago. It's one of my favorites.
I just call it the bat cigar.
It's
Murcielago.
The Batman. I call it the Batman cigar.
Listen, if you got advice from Brenda probably knows more about these blends than I do. Brenda's one of the greatest Espinosa ambassadors there is.
And she's got her tattoo. I mean, she has tatted that E on her.
And saves us immensely in our travels in her work with American Airlines. I can't tell you that. I feel bad tapping into Brenda as much as we do when we're in there, but she gets us home. Brenda gets us home.
Brenda is a true gem. I've got to call out Brenda, okay? So back to the story when I was in the hospital with COVID. And I don't call out and ask for help other than prayer. Very often. But I'm in the hospital and I have my phone and I don't have my phone charger. And I called out and asked for help. And Brenda was the one that came up to the hospital and bought multiple chargers, dropped them off at the hospital for me. They got up to my room so that my phone could stay charged so that I could stay connected to the world because, this is COVID and nobody's allowed to come see me. This point in time, my daughter lives in Arkansas with my with my parents, her grandparents. And Brenda was the first one to reach out. So lots of love for Brenda. For beyond all of that, but for that, I mean, her heart is immense. Is immense.
Yep.
Great sister of the leaf. So
yes, she is.
Yes. And I was going to say, we've had lots of people on. So Mad Money, I'm going to put this one out here. What he said, because I love doing this to Jack. He said that, Jack, you're the GOAT. Allison,
I love Mad Buddy.
Allison, she said hello. We've also had Frank. Now I'm trying to scroll through the names. He said hello. So I mean,
Allison's off to new adventures.
yes,
yes.
exciting new adventures. Excited for her. So and this is the great thing about like cigars. I mean, even if you don't really know somebody, y'all all have a mutual friend. That's that's the great thing about it, is you may not know them, but then as soon as they introduce them, they become your friend. So that's the beauty.
Carlito Fuentes says it everywhere he's at. It's not about the cigars, it's about the people. That's what I love about this industry. This industry is like no other. What other industry do you know of that you could walk into any cigar shop, walk into the humidor, get a recommendation, pick up a cigar, enjoy it, and reach out to Nick Malello, Steve Saka, Eric Espinosa. Reach out to any of these guys and be talking to them in 5 minutes.
Right. It's amazing.
There's nothing like that. There's nothing like this industry, and the relationships are insane, and the people you meet are just wonderful.
Yeah. Well, walking into Michael's and having Nick Perdomo say, "Hey, Graybeard, come over here. I got something for you to try." Never met him in person, but he knew who I was. I obviously knew who he was. Going into another lounge and seeing a Rocky Patel, and it's just like people who are, it's like in Carlito and the professor, the people who are just like the elite of the industry, just look at you and go, You're one of us. We're all together.
Yeah. We're all together.
That's why I call the cigar the great equalizer.
And it's a welcoming industry, because I started back in '97 when I was a baby. No, I'm just kidding. You were sitting there talking about the '80s. I was in second grade in '86, so I couldn't smoke then. But I mean,
I was not in second grade in '86, so
I wasn't in second grade in '86 either.
So like I started, and here was the thing: is the cigars came around and like in the late mid '90s, they started coming back around where people were starting to smoke again. It started to pick up, and I just took to it. And I think part of the reason I took with it is like the people. That is the whole reason. And I mean, my love has grown obviously for it, but so I was one in 80. Thanks, Mad Money. See, like I feel really old now. So I mean, it's just like one of those things that is just, it's beautiful. You meet people from different walks of life. And like we talk about this, if I hadn't gone into the underground and started hanging out with those guys and questioning them and asking my billion questions that they all answered and they were supportive of it, I would have never met Graybeard, because our walks of life, our paths of life would have not crossed. And I think that's like, that's the beautiful thing about cigars is like people that you normally wouldn't associate, or you have a different of political or religious or just any type of view on life. With cigars, it brings you together, and you're able to actually sit and talk and discuss things.
Listen, if you're somebody that travels and enjoys cigars, any city you go to, you walk into any lounge, and you're welcomed as a friend in these places, and within 10 minutes you're talking to whoever's there, and you're, chances are you all know the same people. If you know this industry, we're a pretty tight knit community here. So.
And what I love about it is that it doesn't matter your economic status.
No,
it
your
doesn't
ethnicity.
matter. It doesn't matter your ethnicity. It doesn't matter your political. It doesn't matter your gender or whatever gender you believe that you happen to
Identify
associate with. Thank you. Identify as.
You're welcome.
I was trying to be politically correct here. It doesn't matter. I mean, I'm a Christian. I identify a little bit more on the conservative side, and I'm in Asheville, North Carolina, and walk into a cigar lounge, which is very liberal, and sit down and just talk with people. And
which one? Which one? There's only two. Casablanca or B&B?
B&B.
Yeah, I love B&B. Charlie over there.
Yes.
Oh, B&B. Yeah, it's great.
My stepson's a firefighter in Nashville. So,
my son's a firefighter.
Nice.
In Killeen.
I found two Ezra Zions I'd never seen before in there on there, but the rest of that doesn't matter. What matters is we come in together and we're all people who smoke cigars or just enjoy cigars. Even if you don't smoke, we just enjoy cigars. And that's why I say it's a great equalizer. We're all on the same page.
Listen, one of my favorite girls is on there, Chrissy Critchfield.
Oh, Chrissy, I love Chrissy. I got to call out Chrissy. Chrissy, I'm going to call you out. Sorry, sister, but not sorry. In the Leaf and Grain Society, in our Facebook group, this woman, she is always posting different pairings that she does. Incredible photography, and I've got a degree in photography.
And some pretty funny
gorgeous.
Incredible photography on there.
Beautiful.
And I'm always coming out and saying, all right, Chrissy, what the hell are you pairing and how did it come out with? Because she's inspired me on some pairings, which
she has.
Which is kind of hard to do. She's inspired me on some pairings. The girl knows what she's doing.
So today we just nailed down July 20th, executive in Simpsonville. We're doing their anniversary party. Hector and I will be out there.
Very fun.
For the anniversary. And
nice.
we have a great time with Chrissy and Curtis and everybody that hangs out over there. So Chrissy, Brenda, there's a lot of great people out there, a lot of great ladies.
Oh, I like
lots
this.
of great people.
This is interesting. Chris Coulter says, I'm eating homemade thin mint ice cream after he just smoked the 601 black.
Well,
okay, Chris, I'm gonna ask you on that one. How is that one turning out? Because, and here's the reason why I'm asking on this. Because
he said mint.
Well, that not only that, but
and
also
dairy.
because of the ice cream and the dairy coat your tongue, which different things that coat your tongue has an influence on how it pairs.
Right. So, I think it's going to be great.
All I'm thinking is you better hang on to those 601 blacks because we don't make them anymore.
Oh. Don't smoke them all. Don't smoke them all.
Oh.
Yeah, I smoked all mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine are gone too.
Mine are gone. Yeah.
Or mine.
So now I'm doing, and here's like, I did the bolder one first, and now I'm doing the lighter one. And this one was the barber pole. See, now that I've taken it out, are y'all able to see it?
Yeah, we can.
Barber pole? Okay, there
I'm
you go.
smoking the same thing.
So grapevine. So there you go.
So what is the blend of the crema? Let's talk a little bit about a barber pole and what it takes to be a barber pole.
So the crema de laranja is a marriage of the crema and the laranja. It's close to the laranja blend with a crema barber pole. And we wanted to do an event-only cigar that you could only get at events. We've only sold it one time, and it was in its. Did that even have a band on it?
No, it's bandless.
Yeah.
It's naked.
So now they're embossed. Now they're embossed bands. Now they come in a really nice 5-pack. But the first and only time we've ever sold that cigar was at UG Fest a couple of years ago. We decided to make the Campbell Soup rip-off crema de laranja. We
That
decided
was 2020, I think.
no, it had to have been 2022.
22. Yeah, I think it was 22.
Okay,
2022.
2022.
Because I think last year we did the Tony.
Yeah, it says 22 on it too.
Yeah,
See?
last year we did the big homie for
Yeah,
for
the big
Tony.
homie.
Yes.
Yeah, the big homie was last year.
And 2021 is when you did the. 2019 was the Titty Twisters. 2021 was a takeoff of the La Bamba, I think.
Might have been. No, you know what? Hold on a minute.
I think Titty Twister was 21.
Titty Twister was 21.
Titty Twister.
You know what?
2020
was the Brazilian the Brazilian the Murcielago with the Brazilian rapper. Batshit crazy.
That's right.
That's right.
Crazy.
Crazy. Yes.
Okay. So one of the years you did a takeoff of the La Bamba.
It might have been before me.
2019.
I know.
2018.
2020. We were not at UG Fest.
Right. It was online.
It could have been.
We did it online.
Yeah.
So that was the year that it was online.
And then this year we decided to come back with a 6 cigar sampler that has the 3 knuckle sandwiches. It has Murcielago in it. It has Laranja in it, and it has the event only cigar. So it's 6 cigars, and I think it's like the 6 cigars and a flat flame Lotus flat flame lighter for like $60.
Oh yeah, that's what it is.
So
yeah,
I got to know what the hell Allison is talking about here. Brazilian bikini wax. I mean, because she got
Brazilian bikini wax.
I mean,
we were talking about the Brazilian. That would have been a great name for it if y'all did the, but they did batshit crazy instead of Brazilian bikini wax.
Well, I
think they did the year before I came on board.
That Murcielago was
the original Batshit Crazy, and then when I came on board, it became Batshit Crazy Brazil. It was the Murcielago with the Brazilian wrapper. I don't remember what in 2018. I don't know what Batshit Crazy, what the difference was in the Murcielago blend, but
yeah.
See, 2019 was my first year with UG.
Okay, so we're gonna need because we're all the Texans. We're all saying. The bat one. Now say it slow because we're going to have, Christy says we need lessons on saying it. So you're going to have to say it slow so our Texas twang can get it.
Murcielago.
See, that wasn't slow. That was, you got to break it apart.
That's as slow as I can say it.
So like when I say, when I say my mur.
No, not mur. Murcielago.
Cielo.
The back end is what you got to practice. Yeah. Cielago is what you got to practice.
Cielago.
Yeah. Lago. You know what lago is? It's a lake. Lago is lake in Spanish. So lago.
So is that a hard G or soft G?
So
this is the linguistic in me coming out. Murcielago.
Listen, if you buy it, you call it whatever you want. People call it Murcielago, Murcielago. The bat cigar.
Murcielago.
Mercy. We get Mercy a lot. So
if
you buy it, you can call it whatever the
fuck you want. I'm just gonna call it this fucking cigar. Next time I smoke one, I'm just gonna post it and I say, "Hey Jack, I'm smoking the fucking cigar." That's it.
We're gonna put it out phonetically, so that people can figure this out.
Because my grandson's name is Misael, and everybody's like, "What? What?" And I say, Misael.
That's what I call Miguel Chanel.
It's a fucking bat cigar. That's it.
It's a fucking bat cigar. That's it.
Fucking bat.
I like what Money says here.
The Batman
definitely
cigar.
took the SATs. I can tell. Yes, I took the SATs, money, and I actually studied linguistics for a point in time. Even though
have you guys had a chance to try the Murcielago de Oro?
Yes.
The TAA cigar.
Yes.
That Mexican San Andre Claro wrapper.
Yeah.
Was spectacular.
Well, and here's my thing, and I'm gonna say it. Like it sounds so bad. I've always been a whore for San Andreas. I love San Andreas. It's just like one of those.
Yes.
It's a great Mexican San Andreas Claro. It's so good. I mean, anything. I like
Here's
it.
I've had a number of cigars where the San Andreas was the binder and not the wrapper. And it
Hmm.
was like an Ecuadorian Habano, or even what's really is turning out to be my favorite of the Habanos, the Jamastra Habanos. Because Jamastra Habano, even though Jamastra and Jalapa are so close to each other, the Jamastra Habano just has such unique flavors to it.
So let's practice that word. It's hamastron.
Okay.
I'm a strong.
I'm Texan. I'm Texan.
strong.
The Hamastron Habano. You should be glad I'm calling it Habano now.
Okay, Joya.
that one with the
in the third hour we'll be having Spanish lessons.
You know, I even signed up for that one of those online Spanish lessons, you know, to learn how to speak Spanish, because I was like, okay, I need to learn how to speak Spanish.
Well, unlike the sommelier class, I believe you failed this one.
I did. Oh, absolutely, 100%. Because I gave up on it.
But
I may get back into it, but I need someone to talk with me on this. I mean, this isn't one of those things, because I can't just pick up a Spanish word and smoke it, you know?
No, it's all about immersion. You got to get in there and live in Nicaragua for a month. You'll pick up stuff.
Hola, Jack. ¿Cómo estás?
You'll pick up COVID again. You'll pick up many things.
Pick up COVID. You'll pick up anything in Nica.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Well, all right. We're coming up in at the top of 2 hours. Jack, thank you so much for joining us.
Anytime, guys. I look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks.
Yes, absolutely. Always love it when we get the chance to meet up together.
And I'm going to bring a couple of autographed boxes from Guy for the raffle. So,
awesome.
Oh my goodness! Oh,
so
you guys hear that?
And definitely this was
you guys
it
better hit up
2 years ago? Yeah. So
well, here's the bad news. Here's the good news. The good news is the new Knuckle Sandwich T-shirts are all signed by Guy.
Oh wow!
The bad news is that Eric took a gold Sharpie with a gold logo, and Guy had to sign it on the shirt instead of the logo. So the first time you wash it, his signature's gone.
It's out.
That one doesn't fade for some reason.
Yeah.
That should be a commercial for Sharpie, because I've seen people that live in those shirts and have washed it 500 times, and that his signature's still on it.
Do you want to hear? Do you want to hear how dumb I was?
How did you end up with that T-shirt? How did you get it?
I won the raffle at NFG.
Did you? Okay.
I won. Yeah, I won. So I got it. But here's the thing: is I was excited about the shirt, and I was wearing it because, I said I have a ton of y'all swag. I love the swag; it's always fun. And in fact, I was sitting here deciding what I was going to wear, and I didn't really want to wear it because I was like, I have to wash it, and his signature's there. But I wore this shirt several times, and I didn't realize his signature was on it. And then I was hanging it up one day, and I was like, oh my God, I need to not wear this as much because his signature's on it.
You know what's funny, that I had people that would, and I have a video of him signing all the T-shirts, and I would get people to say, how did you get his signature to look that legit? And I would reply with his video of him signing it.
It's because it is legit.
It is legit.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's going to be awesome swag right there. So see, y'all just have to, if you haven't gotten a ticket, there's not very many left. So you need to get them before they're gone.
Okay. Give me some sizes. What size T-shirts do you guys wear?
Large.
Large. Both large? Okay.
No, I'm extra large.
You look like a schmedium.
I'm 6
but he's
foot
tall. He's 6'7" or something like that.
Are you really? Yes, you're 6'7".
No, I'm 6'5".
Okay.
I'm 6'5", and I have the shoulders.
Every time I see you, you're sitting down, so it's not fair.
You've seen me standing up. It's just you probably had too much to drink then. I'm
Yeah, 'cause I was
6'5",
giving you some liquor.
but I also have the shoulders of a 6'5" man too.
Okay.
I may be thin, but I'm a big man.
I will. The first thing I'm gonna do tomorrow when I get to the office is look at the sizes of the t-shirts we have left. I know Smoke a fucking Sumatra. I know we have large in that. I don't know what's left in the knuckle sandwich ones, but I think we're.
Hey, I'll take a triple. I'll take whatever.
All right. Let me ask you this. What size do you wear?
If I want to wear it twice, 4X. If I can wear a 3X comfortably, but the moment I wash it, it's over.
Oh, damn.
So the 4X washes perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
The 3X, I'm a big dude.
We've got an exclusive Leaf and Grain t-shirt.
An FG shirt.
That has the Twisted Pair logo that you see right up there.
It's above, like right there.
Oh, here.
On my screen, it's above her shirt. And but we have to do the 4X as a special order. So you get me a shirt, I'll do you a 4X. I'll do you a shirt.
I got you. I know. I can tell you right now, if you guys call Luna tomorrow, he just got the box of shirts. So I know he's got large. But for some reason, I think I sent all the in-house reps. And shit, I hope my brokers aren't listening to this. But I sent all my in-house reps a bunch of shirts just to get them the fuck out of the office and to get them out to the people. And we only ordered like 120 of those knuckle sandwich shirts. And then Eric posts a video of him and Guy at Guy's house with Guy signing them all. And I had 300 requests for t-shirts. And I'm like, you know, we only have like 120 of these shirts. Anybody comes, I'm not shipping anything. Anybody comes to the office or sees me traveling or contacts a rep, I can send it with their road stock. That's one thing. But I'm not individually shipping t-shirts to anybody.
My daughter and son-in-law, both they own their own t-shirt making company. So it comes down to what size of t-shirts I can, that they can get from their distributor.
Yes, Chrissy, you have a broker, and don't tell him I said this.
Yeah, be very quiet. Why? She's gonna sit there and say, "Hey, guess what?"
Jack sent t-shirts to the in-house guys.
Chrissy, if you need some t-shirts to be brokered, I've got the people who can make them.
There you go.
And they do.
Are you the one making shirts for Tony Gomez?
I wish they were.
I only have the. I'm the only one with the titty twister shirt. There's only one. There's two of them, and I have one of them.
Nice.
I was gonna say, I don't even have an Espinosa t-shirt.
Well, listen, I got a shitload of Espinosa t-shirts. I'll look through them and bring you some.
But I will wear them. I'll wear them on the fucking show. What?
Yep.
What? I mean,
you sound angry.
No. I sound.
I'll wear them on the fucking show. Damn it!
I'll wear them on the fucking show.
Right. I sound motivated. All right. Thank you again for joining us, Jack. We appreciate
Absolutely,
you.
man. It was awesome.
Guys, if you don't follow Espinosa, you don't follow Jack. I know Jack won't follow you on Instagram. He doesn't do Instagram, but go on, follow him anyways. Facebook.
Yeah, I'm very good at Facebook. I'm an old guy. I'm very good at Facebook.
I messaged you on Facebook and you answered me back. So yes, you're very
immediately. By the way, immediately.
Yes. He even gave me a thumbs up on it.
And thank God you did, because I forgot about this show.
Well, and here's the thing: is it's not that he intentionally. He's a very, very busy man. He's always on the go. Always on. It seems like you're here one day, somewhere else the next day. I can't keep up with you.
So I write it, and I wrote it in my calendar. But you know what I don't look at every day? My calendar.
Your calendar.
Yeah. So when David sent me a message today, I was like, "Oh shit!" I was like, and it happened once before. I was doing it wasn't a video podcast. It was a radio interview, and it was scheduled for 6:00 on a Tuesday. And I'm sitting right here in my backyard having a cigar. And at 5 minutes to 6, the guy says, "Hey, if you want to come on a little early And I was like, oh my God. If he hadn't sent me that message, I forgot.
Mhm.
I forgot.
It's
I
like-
forgot.
What's funny, Jack, is I was just about to say to message you as I saw you logging in and coming into the green room. I was just about to say,
I set an alarm.
joining us?
The moment I hung up the moment that we exchanged, I set an alarm for 7:45. And then I was being buzzed by that helicopter. If not, I would have been on a little earlier. I mean, that thing was right here. I wanted to get on so you guys could see it. It was crazy.
That is. But I'll tell you, somebody took a helicopter and landed it at the Salt Lick place on Saturday. It's pretty cool.
On
So they
purpose.
could avoid that Austin traffic.
Wow.
One of
I
the
wanted barbecue.
One of the craziest shows that we've done was with, I can't remember his name, but he was a chocolate guy. And he was in, I think it was in Singapore or somewhere. But it was 7 p.m. our time, and it was 7 a.m. his time the next day.
Oh my God.
And he's in China. You know, he's somewhere over there.
It was Asia, somewhere in Asia. Yeah.
Somewhere over there in Asia. And he's sitting out at the pool.
I was jealous.
And Red even had to call me out because I was like, oh damn, there's another James, she looks good. She looks good. You know, because it's summertime and it's all of these women in their bikinis going out to the pool, and he's right out there in the pool.
I'm sorry I didn't have the sights for you back here.
Your TV was on, and I saw there was something that looked like a guy was going on the TV, and I was like,
it was before I came out. It was guys' grocery games. That was the weirdest thing. I mean, listen, for 10 years, me and my wife at dinner time, we put on the Food Network, and at dinner time, it's mostly guy. And guy. And we watch guy. And one day I'm sitting in the conference room, and I'm on the laptop, and I hear a commotion in the office, and guy walks in and sits in front of me. And now I'm looking over the screen at him, and I'm like, this is surreal. This is like this guy's been on my TV.
I have you in dinner. You come to my dinner every night. We have dinner together.
Yeah.
I think I've eaten at 5 or 6 of the restaurants that he's had on his trip on Triple D.
Oh yeah,
I do that a lot now too. I got the app, and whenever I go somewhere, I look to see where he's done it.
Where he's been.
One of my favorite ones is in Santa Fe, and it's a little hole in the wall restaurant. It's called Turning Point Cafe.
I saw that episode,
and my ex-wife and I, we saw the episode, and we went to visit her sister that lives just outside of Santa Fe, and so we're coming back in, and we saw the had seen the restaurant. It was like, we need to go to Turning Point Cafe because Guy already said we need to go there, because it was on Triple D. And so we went there only because it was on Triple D.
Yeah.
And absolutely understood why it was, because the whoever rancheros, which is what he featured on there, was just out of this world good.
Well, and that's another cool thing. It's like these diners that you would normally maybe pass up, and he features. I can't remember where I was in California, but there was this 1 pound cinnamon roll that had been on the Triple D.
I remember that episode.
And like, I kid you not, this cinnamon roll was bigger than my face, and, I knew I couldn't eat it all. I could only eat maybe like 3 bites, but did I get the cinnamon roll? Yeah, because Guy told me to.
Absolutely.
Some guy told me to.
That's the cool thing about this event we're going to for South Beach Food and Wine, the Triple D. A lot of those restaurants are there. There's 30 or 40.
That is really cool.
There's 30 or 40 of people that have been featured on his show, and I remember me and my wife were rookies, and we walked in, and they hand you a sample from each little thing, and we would get one each. And by the 5th one, we were like, why don't we get one between us and take a bite each, because we're not going to make it very far.
Yeah, with 30 of them.
I think it was like 18 of them that we got to try, but we tried the one that won, because they're having a competition and
oh, cool.
And it was some chicken and waffle. It was spectacular.
Oh, I love chicken and waffles.
Everything was so good. So I'm looking forward to Friday.
Yeah.
Need to get Guy to have his tequila at Whiskey Fest next year. This year.
Well, this year Whiskey Fest has moved to Tampa, so we're not doing it.
They're not doing the Vegas.
Vegas is not Whiskey Fest. Whiskey Fest is the Florida event.
No. Whiskey Fest is in 5 locations because I've been to Vegas twice. I've been
Yeah,
to
they have
Whiskey
them.
Fest
Mhm.
twice the past 2 years.
Big. I'm talking about Big Smoke meets Whiskey Fest.
Okay, you're talking big smoke. Big smoke.
Yeah, they did it here for the last few years at the Hard Rock Casino here in Hollywood, and then this year they moved it to Tampa. And because of conflicts in our schedule, we just we'll be in Vegas for the Big Smoke, but and Guy will be with us in Vegas for the Big Smoke, but we won't be.
Okay, so I'm definitely going to. I was supposed to go to Big Smoke in Vegas for 2023 and wasn't able to make it. Although I did make it to.
Guy wasn't there last year. Go this year.
No, I'm going this year. But I get a media pass. We get media passes to Whiskey Fest in Vegas every year.
Nice.
So
will you guys be at the PCA?
Unfortunately, not this year.
Yeah.
No, we were last year, but not this year.
Yeah, it's insane. I mean, it's during March Madness. I mean, it's crazy what's going to be going on there.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, and and next year it'll be in New Orleans, correct?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah. So I'm planning on that. I'm planning on that one, but this year, schedules and everything wasn't able to.
I'm planning on 2025. This year just ended up too much. We had to put our focus into NFG, and we were supposed to be out at TPE, and just things fell through, and we're supposed to be out at PCA, and things have fallen through, and we're just not able to make it. But we will be out NFG.
Well, I'll see you at NFG.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So, but again, thank you so much for coming on.
Absolutely, anytime. It was fun.
It was very much fun. And we'll see you in a couple weeks.
We'll see you in a couple weeks.
For what we say, Espinosa every day.
Espinosa every day. Hang on just for a minute, Jack. Next week we've got Christoph Cigars. Following that, we will get to the part 2 of the iced tea. Life is going to calm down for a little bit for both of us. We will get to the part 2 of iced tea. But as we always say, please go out, follow us, like us, hit the subscribe on our YouTube, go out to our website. I promise you we've got some good content coming up. March 15th, in 3 weeks, we've got issue number 2 of the Leaf and Grain Society magazine. The theme for this issue is all walks of life. Cigars, whiskeys, and wines. Pairings is for all walks of life, not just the elite, not just the affluent, not just the celebrities, all walks of life. So we've got some great articles coming out for you. If you want to see a review on the Espinosa Sumatra cigar, you're going to have to check out the magazine because that will be in that issue. And you will not be disappointed. I promise you that. So check out that issue. Until next week, as we always say, explore the pairings.
There's something for everyone. Have a good night, y'all.
Good night, y'all.